What's up, everyone? Hopefully, you guys are able to hear me. Guys, do me a favor as you're coming in, just hit that like button. I'm gonna be on just for a little bit. I don't too much do a lot of streams, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to just go ahead and do this stream. Yeah, it's a lie, man. Like normally I don't have time to be able to do lives, but today I actually have a little bit of a free time, so I'm gonna capitalize on this opportunity just to be able to go live with you guys, hang out with the fellas and the gals. Let me know some of the things you guys want to talk about. Like this crazy, like how this just came in. The SEC is asking or is asked a court to grant a temporary restraining order to freeze assets tied to Binance US. Like this is gonna get ugly as far as with the battle, but I think this is a battle that is worth having now versus waiting to a bull market, then all this stuff start to come out and stuff like that. So I rather they do it now versus later. The middle journey. I bought a little bone. Nice, man. Where did you buy that? Bone right now sitting around what? Is this right or is this wrong? It says 80 cents, but this chart says 76 cents. So I was actually expecting, I wanted to see Bone get down a little further. One thing about Bone, if we just look at the life cycle of it, now this is just the chart versus on Uniswap, so it's not the Shiba Swap chart. That's why I rather see this chart because that nasty wick on the downward side, it really didn't serve any purpose due to the fact that those tokens were being minted, so liquidity pool at the time was super inflated. So 76 $80 price on the chart, to me that wasn't as accurate as seeing it, once a liquidity pool was actually established. I'm doing the same thing too. Like every chance I get, I am buying Bone. Every chance I get, I am buying Bone. I really wanted to see it have a nice little more of a flush, you know, somewhere down here, 60, even 40 cents. I wouldn't mind that because at the end of the day, I know that getting Bone at these lower prices just pretty much mean I'm just getting that at a deep discount. Okay, this is better. Here we go. Fund price. You're upset about fund price. Yeah, fund. It's one of those things. They do not do too much release. Like they don't release anything as far as like any updates. That is why like I haven't really been making any content about fund because I to be honest with you, I don't know what's going on other than the fact that they're building Shibarium. So as long as that still stay the same, I'm still going to be bullish on them. But got to admit, this run up was pretty nice. Probably should have taken some type of profits, but hindsight is always 2020. So I didn't. I'm still holding my bag, so I'm down a little bit on my position because my average is somewhere around like 20 something cents. And for me to start buying even more of the dip on fund, I actually want to see it drop like sub 10. I didn't see that. John asks, what does a little Ethereum icon attached to the bone icon after a swap in Coinbase mean? I'm not really a Coinbase person, so I haven't seen that, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. If you have like a screenshot or something like that of it, feel free to like DM it to me. I'll take a look at it. I feel the same way too. Um, like I definitely my biggest position, as you guys already know, it is bone. So sometime I have a hard time like trying to diversify, going into different assets because I see just the big potential in bone, and sometimes I just have to force myself just to buy something other than bone. So I've gotten into like a few meme coins, nothing serious. Maybe $50 here, um, just to quench the FOMO. Like I made a video saying like, hey, I'm not gonna buy any meme coins until closer to the halving. And for some reason, I just started seeing some of the memes. They started dropping down significantly. I'm like, yo, let me just quench this FOMO and just put $50 into it. If you DM me on Instagram, I'm typically not on Instagram. I have it really for my kids, but I'm not really on Instagram. But I'll try to dig up the login information and be able to see it. You bought ordinals during the last flash. You even picked up some Sheeb when it went to almost 7. Nice. Now Sheeb, that's another thing too. Like I haven't been focusing in on Sheeb, which I should, especially at these levels. Let me get the Sheeb chart pulled up. Because when I got into Sheeb, my average was maybe like my very first average was like at 5 zeros, one something. And eventually it got bumped up because I was buying at higher levels to 0.506. But I did sell like 90% of my Sheeb like on the last bull run. But definitely should be able to start establishing a position again. I mean, I still have just a little bit left, but again, my main focus as of lately just been bone. Like when I mean bone, like I even got family members for my sister-in-law, my mother. My mother, so believe it or not, actually have more bone than me. Um, so I'm still in catch up. You also have BRC20 on BitGet. Which one? I actually do have a Twitter account. Twitter, it's right here. Random Arts. Random Arts 3. Goku said, "Is 1K to 5K bone enough?" In my opinion, I think it is. Um, I'm greedy because I'm looking at it more from a standpoint of where more people are looking more likely looking to try to take profits at, and I could see like 100 being like a major resistance point because not only 100 is where everyone who have 10K of bone at, reach $1 million. But $100 is typically like a whole number. It's like a psychological resistance area. And the same thing with Bitcoin. When people say like Bitcoin 100K Bitcoin, that's a huge psychological resistance area. So many people are looking to try to take profits there. So I always try to look for, as far as my bag size, to beat the crowd because I don't want to sell where everyone else is selling. You got Meme, Ordi, and VMPX. Now, I don't know about VMPX. As far as like I don't know anything about it, but I think and you correct me if I'm wrong. I think they have a team behind it. And once I saw that they had a team behind it, I'm actually a little bullish on that. But again, I haven't done the proper research just to be able to get into it. But if there is a team behind it, then VMPX in the long run, especially in the bull market, as long as the team constantly work, it should do pretty well. I know ORDI, that's doing very well. Um, Especially for the people who got into like the BRC20 like before it just started having this little first wave. I know people saying that they were minting it, for like 3, 4, $5, and they were getting about like 2,500. And if we look at, see if I can find it. Um, we look at it now. I think what's at $9. High was $25. So people made a lot of money off of that. Uh, Take a look here. I think, see, yeah, right now at $11, like people were minting these joints for like $5. That's like you really can't beat that. I know people say like, hey, Pepe had a huge run, but these BRC20 tokens, this last wave, people were making a killing off of this. Now it's on crypto.com. Uh, Even this B20 with the Alex Lab. But I think the only way that you could get it is if you like stake your tokens or something like that within it. Um, Take a look at Bone. I haven't been looking at Bone on BRC20. I need to get this chat a little bit more structured here. Yeah. So with Bone on BRC20, I don't think it's not gonna have any the major movement of it. I think it's gonna come after Bone that's on the ERC20, like the actual Bone starts to pump. Once that starts happening, and this I believe could at least get to $1, $2. But the second part of it is okay, how's the liquidity gonna be? So still got some time for it. I'm super bullish on this because based upon what I seen how Pepe did. You say only Middle Journey says I know someone who only wants to buy leash. I converted all of my leash into Shiboshi. Now leash right now, get this leash right now, I believe what, like 200. So everything's on a deep discount, like $297. Leash, I just don't see, at least for right now, until they actually come out. I know it's gonna pump when if everything else starts to pump within the ecosystem. That's the easiest thing to do is to just buy it when everything else is pumping. But as far as like long term, seeing how this could explode, yes, it circulating supply of it is super low, but until they actually say how like how they came out with Bone, like, hey, this is gonna be the exact use for leash. I think people are gonna use leash more as a day trade. But again, still huge gains to be made off of leash. If Bitcoin didn't pump to 25K with Coinbase and Binance being sued, then I don't think it's going much lower. Um, See, that's the thing. With even with Bitcoin, like headed towards the halving, and this is what I've just seen within the last two cycles. Well, really, one that I saw from historical data, but one that I actually lived through, um, which was the last bear cycle on Bitcoin. Like 25K, it could easily get breached because when it comes to bad news within crypto, it seems like just one is always around the corner. I mean, that's bad to say. Like they're just constantly bad news that just looming around, and I think some of them is orchestrated just to be able to manipulate it because now you have people in Wall Street in the stock market that are using Bitcoin, futures, and they're long, they're short. So depending on which side some of those actors are on, they could definitely manipulate the price to go either direction. But the cool thing about Bitcoin that I like is how the minting function within Bitcoin, like every 4 years or about every 4 years, that gets slashed in half. So it's just, at the end of it, Bitcoin is going to do well. But it's just the chopping around. That is the biggest part where people, tend to lose their mind. I mean, like I've been there where I'm like, oh my God, Bitcoin, it better not crash, it better not get below this level. And if it does, I'm gonna be out. So hopefully it don't, hopefully the pattern of how the halving is starting to morph a little bit and we don't see one more drop. But if history repeats itself, it does have another drop. And I think that other drop may shake a lot of people out of the markets. I know last time it did because when I look back at the video that I just made, like how close I was to just the Bitcoin halving, it was just maybe about 5 months. I quit crypto 5 months before the halving. Like back then, I didn't know about the halving. I just knew that I was down in all my positions, and I was just like losing my mind. I was like, "Yo, I made all this money during the during the bull cycle, and I pretty much gave it all back during the bear cycle." And I was just frustrated, and I was like, "Hey, look, let me just get out of crypto." But it was like 5 months, and that last drop just really did it for me. So yeah, and that was the same thing too. Let me show you. Back in was it like 2018 or something like that, 2019. It was the same thing. Like when I was doing my TA back then, I was like, yo, there's a lot of support on Bitcoin. I can get it pulled up here. There was a lot of support on Bitcoin. Just a minute. Okay, that's why. There was a lot of support right around like the 9,000 mark. And I was like, yo, it gotta hold because all this support. All right, so this is the initial crash. All right, this was right here. This was the support that I was like, it just got a hold. And once it cracked, I just felt my stomach just I still remember the feeling that I had. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is cracking. Bitcoin, is dead. It kept trying to get over it, and eventually this right here just really just did me in right here on this last drop. And it was I don't know if it was dealing with COVID, but it was dealing with something. But yeah. I know I'm missing a lot of these comments. Nice. Terrell said finally reached 100K, 101K bone. My man, that is awesome. 100K. So $10. What? $10 bone and you're a bone millionaire. That is awesome, man. Big congrats. Big congrats. So what other news that you guys are seeing or any other crypto that you guys are watching other than Bone or Ordinals? Because I'm definitely looking to really um get into other projects as well too. And for me, it's not new. I'm not looking for new projects. I'm talking about projects that's been around because that's how that's how I lost a lot of money like from the last bear cycle because I kept getting into new projects thinking that they're gonna actually do something, but the end result of it, it's either I got rugged or just didn't work out. But majority of them end up rugging. Well, as long as if you have your key, because you could easily just transfer your wallet. Let's say if you have question is, do you think we should move everything out of Coinbase, um, Coinbase and wallet? Coinbase, maybe since it is centralized, but the wallet itself, as long as you have your seed phrase, you could technically put that into any other decentralized wallet. So MDB. All right. So MDB, I still have all my position in MDB. MDB, in my opinion, for it, as long as Foxify does what what they're expecting it to be, then MDB in the long run it should gradually starts going up. But overall, I mean, the chart of it is amazing. So, but definitely want to see a break above above 2 cents. So if it can, then this could easily get to 4 cents or even higher. And also, if they start burning even more tokens, then that's gonna be even better. So I think what in a minute since I checked the supply of it, currently 794 million. So not bad in my opinion. Not bad at all. What are your thoughts on Barklow? That's how you pronounce it. I never heard of them. What chain are they on? Take a look. Sparklow. This or Joe Token, Dex on Avalanche, XF. See, I like Dex Token, especially like on new chains, but I never heard of Joe Token. Let me take a look. Is it the leader in on the Avalanche chain? Huh. See, one thing I always look at, very first thing I look at in the token is circulating supply and how is it trading, like based upon like I got this graph like within my head. Um but if this is the correct circulating supply and this is the correct price, without knowing much about it, I I kind of like it. Even yeah, even if it had this, yeah, I kind of like this. See what exchanges it's on. Show trade. Okay, so on Binance, all right. Pancake, Decent here. So it's on pretty much every major exchange by the looks of it. Let's see what they do. type of volume they bring. With chain. Oh, Avalanche. Okay. Okay, so it's actually the leader. So I definitely like this a little bit better. Yeah, especially like in a bull market, these decentralized trading token. Is it the I may have to do a little bit more research, but yeah, so far from what I'm seeing on Trader Joe, I actually like this. You traded 4 MDB NFTs for Foxify. Nice. Is what called ERC20? Polygon is my largest position. I have been buying and hodling Polygon since before COVID. I have a huge position in Atom, and I own dot, and think it's still under 6. Dot as in polka dot. Take a look. Let's take a look. So what is something as far as like with because I never did research on Polkadot. And what always typically just scare me away is every time I see a circulating supply in the billions and the price is above $1, like because I always think realistically, how much am I gonna be able to flip this? But I mean, looking at all time highs, which is at 50. So worst case scenario, this resistance here, that's 20. I mean, it's still a good return, especially for right here. It's definitely a safer play. I'm looking for more of even if it's a safe play, but something more on the line of okay, this could potentially like 100x. But this I could see a 10x, 52 to $50. Baby Doge. Now, Baby Doge is on my list. Reason why Baby Doge is on my list, it's a former runner. And what I mean by a former runner is that, like on the charts, I guess you could say like a lot of these cryptos are former runners. But whenever the meme space or Shiba Inu or Dogecoin starts to pump, I think Baby Doge would also pump as well. And just based upon that simple trade thesis is why when when it get closer to the halving, I'm gonna establish a position. Hopefully, it gets somewhere around here. But even if you look at the chart of Baby Doge, it's not a bad chart. Like it's really not that bad. Besides this, I don't know if this was just a fake print, but it held consolidation pretty well right here. And it's going right back to it. So like anything like establishing a position between here and as long as the team is still working, establishing a small position within Baby Doge, in my opinion, like it wouldn't be the worst thing to do. So Pulse Chain. Again, like some of these I hear in passing, but I haven't did any research on it. So which one is it? Pulse Chain. Wonder what's the circulating supplies at 1, 2, 3 zeros. 4 trillion. This is not bad. This potential of a if this we're talking about the same token. Now the only thing that I heard about Pulse Chain is that they're, and correct me if I'm wrong, that they're having their own blockchain or something like that. And I love those blockchain token, especially if I see other YouTubers talk about it. Like when I mean other YouTubers, I'm talking about like people who have subscriber base of over like 100K, and they talk about this and not being paid to talk about it. At least the ones that I saw, they didn't disclose that they were paid to talk about it. But with 3 zeros, and if this is just the max circulating supply of that is 4 trillion, a penny could be the goal for this, and that would be a good 100x return. So I'm gonna put this down as well too, Pulse Chain, just to do more research on it. Sparkle is a ERC20. Okay, let's see, ERC20. Let's take a look. What's the ticker symbol? Is it this SP SPARK? Or something else? Or is it Sparky? I don't buy ADA or BNB. Never mess with Voyager, FTX, or Celsius. Only XRP I own. I won in a trade contest on. Oh, nice. Back in 2018. So that means you got a decent amount. I remember when I first saw XRP, and this was when I was super new into the crypto space. And it was, for some reason, it was hard to buy back then. Like I didn't know how to buy it, and I'm talking about XRP was like below a penny, um, or if it was right at a penny or something like that. But I couldn't buy it. Didn't know how to. It wasn't on Coinbase at the time. I really didn't know anything about like swapping, and yeah, it was just like a big mess. Like I really didn't know. So if you got it back in 2018, like, and yeah, you got it at a nice price and probably a big chunk amount as well too. It says dot. Oop, this thing is. It says dot has technology for the future, not the next run. I get your degradation. It might. Why does this thing keep scrolling up? It might not be good if you are maximizing your profit. Gotcha. Okay. All I know is that you have to have an ERC20 compliant wallet to buy Sparkle. So, oh, gotcha. So it's not out yet. So it's still in pre-sale. See, that's the only thing for me. In a bull market, pre-sales absolutely, because you could literally throw money at different pre-sales and you could, 10x, 20x, 100x. But in a bear market, since liquidity is so constrained, that every time, or not every time, but most of the time, a project would have either die right out the gate or have just a small little bounce, then it starts to dump. So that's my only concern, like when it comes to pre-sale in a bearish market. SPK. Yeah, if it's still in pre-sale, it's not gonna show up yet, unless it's this one right here. And this actually been out since 2012 or 2022. Look like Shaitoshi might have said something. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, right here on the live, looks like they got the reveal then of the metaverse. This looks let me go to the actual thing. We're thrilled to announce that the trailer for the Rocketball will be released tomorrow. So they're gonna release the metaverse Rocket Pond tomorrow. We're also excited about the impressive progress the project has made, and this is just the beginning. Get ready to be amazed. Like, this is not bad in my opinion, because it's give, especially like with the shadow in the background, it kind of gives off Fortnite just a little bit. Just, I'm not sure if you guys ever seen like the Fortnite trailers, but that's what it's actually giving off. Just the vibe that I'm seeing here. Let me like and retweet this. And this is, and I don't think, and just to harp on this topic with the metaverse within the Sheeb ecosystem, like when we take a look at just, let's look at the top, let's say what, top 50, top 25. You have Bitcoin, store of value, Ethereum, more like a, something that people could build upon. That's what, Shibarium has. That's what Shibarium is going to be. It's being built on top of Ethereum, and people are going to be able to build upon it. BNB layer one, same thing. You could say this is, just a different change. This is for the bank. Now you know, right now there's no banking or anything like that within the Sheeb ecosystem. But Cardano, same thing, layer one. Doge, layer one as well. Poly, layer two. And you have layer one, Polkadot, I believe, is a layer one as well too. Avalanche, layer one. Cosmos, layer one. Chainlink, well, that's Oracle. Uniswap. So this is where it starts to change up a little bit. Uniswap is a DEX. Sheeb ecosystem, we have a DEX as well. Layer one, there's a fork. I don't know much about XLM. I don't know if if it has its own layer. But then you start to get into like the metaverse. ApeCoin, their metaverse. Um, who else is part of the metaverse? Sandbox, that's metaverse. Multiverse, like, we're tapping into multiple sectors, and that's the great thing about the ecosystem. And the great thing that, and also the other thing that's going to be powering all of this to make it even possible is Bone. That's why, like, for me, when I see a lot of people are like, they don't, there's, especially that the people that's in the Sheeb ecosystem and they don't get into Bone, like, I'm sitting there thinking like, yo, what are you guys are thinking? I want to Haven Peck says I want to, I'm sorry, this thing keep moving up on me. I want to thank you for covering Bone. I feel pretty alone taking these risks. I am a small farming community and have no one to discuss crypto with, let alone Bone. I get it, brother, and you're welcome. I get it. I was the same way back in 2017, 2018. One thing that I would recommend, get a Twitter account. Like, crypto Twitter I probably that's probably one of my most used app that I have is Twitter because the community that's behind it. Yeah, you're gonna see people fudding and all this different drama and stuff like that, but overall, I like what Twitter has become as far as for the crypto community. So if you ever feel alone, like pop into Twitter. I'm here. You can always discuss any crypto. And I'm sorry, guys, if I miss any of your comments. For some reason, they keep scrolling up on me, so I gotta go back just to be able to try to catch up. Volcane blockchain launching this year, layer one. Do you know when it's launching? I love anything that's dealing with blockchain as far as like having its own layer. John asks, what should bone holders be called? Bone community is kind of boring. Bone army? Boner? I don't know. I'm bad at names, so the middle journey have asked, have you ever heard of a coin XTP tap? Been looking at I've been looking at that as Tap Global is on the UK stock market. It's called XTP Tap. Let's see. XTP Tap. Or so this is a publicly traded coin? First time I'm hearing of it. Rank 90 966. Do you know what they're building or what's the story behind them? Owners, of course. Q2. So sometime within the next what? I mean, it's what? April. Well, Q2 is about to be over with. Hey, you guys have any other tokens or coins y'all want me to look at before I call it quits here, guys? Definitely enjoy doing these live. It's just that I don't have enough time typically throughout the day to sit in front of the computer to be able to do it. LMWR is the newest play. MWR. LimeWire. This is bringing back memories from when I was a kid. Tell me what. Okay, so what is cert? Okay, got an audit from Certic. So let's go there. Just for the name itself, I feel like I just want to buy it. So what are they? What's the story behind them? They got destroyed though. Woo. See how the centralized exchanges are treating them. On Kraken, on KuCoin, it's not bad. Let's see what. Let's go to the blockchain and see how. So okay, max supply of it is 938 million. So it's close to a billion. So the price that it's at right now, I could see why it's justified. Unless if there's anything else that the token is going to be used for, I can see why the price is justified. Because when I saw this circulating supply number and this price, I was like, wow, then, just based upon how liquidity pools are set up, if this is, and this is why, like I always mention, like circulating supply is really big for me as far as when I'm looking to invest. And that's always been a concept that I've done from early on. I always look at circulating supply, where is it trading at? And that's how I was able to get like some of these big gainers on some of these tokens. Uh, so if I see something like this, only 41 million, um, exchanges must love them because they got them listed on here, and the price is below $1. And in my opinion, that this coin would be undervalued. That's just a quick, and that's how I just quickly just analyze tokens. Of course, there's more to it. You got to deep dive just to be able to see what's the story behind them. What are they building? Could more people rally behind them in the future? Because if I'm buying now, are more people going to come later on and be like, okay, I can see why this token is being bought. But just in my opinion, I mean, again, I could be completely wrong. This is not a science, so. But after I see like 938 million, as far as for a max supply, the price is close to $1 billion. And like, yeah, I don't see it like 100xing. Getting the $10 because that's how I'm looking at it, not just the 10x. Because it's cool, like 10x, 20x is cool in a bear market, but if I'm doing it more for long term, like going into a bull market, I'm looking for tokens that's going to be able to have explosive gains, if that makes sense. The TAP is the fastest growing provider of fiat banking and crypto settlement service with over 140,000 registered users. Really? Okay. Go to TAP. Circulating supply is 1 billion. Like, good example of this. We just looked at what LimeWire, and the circulating supply for LimeWire, it's close to $1 billion. And look at the price of it, where it's at, 12 cents. Looking at TAP and just looking at circulating supply and also where it's trading at, like I could see, okay, this could be a potential 100x. Let's see what love is it getting from the centralized exchanges? Not too much, um, but again, it could pose as an opportunity. So I'm gonna definitely keep this on the radar. Just scamming through the comments, make sure I didn't miss anybody else's. Okay, let me see here. Taking a quick look at this. All right, so again, look at circulating supply. Where's it currently at? It's on MEXC. How many zeros is this? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zeros. I think I counted that right. 11 zeros. Circulate supply is, or max supply, million, billion, trillion, quad. It's a lot. This could be a degen type of play, especially if it demonstrate that the team, volume is extremely low on it. But if the team is constantly, that's one thing I would want to see. If the team is still working on it, then these the type of tokens that during a bull market you really don't know. Like people who said they saw Sheeb coming a mile away, like those people were like lying. Because a token just like this that's on a downward trend could explode at any given time. Like thing is we really don't know. So if I'm gonna play this, I would definitely treat it as a degen and definitely close to its lows. So you really are not risking much. But the only thing that you just have to make sure if you do get into a play like this is make sure that the team is still working. So that's why, like, for a lot of these memes, if FOMO don't kick in for me, I'm gonna wait until close to the halving, or even a few months after the halving, just to make sure. Oh, it's a creator token. Let me see what the website says. Maybe it must have been talking about a different one. Because this looks like manga, play to earn. This, I mean, looking at it just from the website, it doesn't look bad. If they continue to build upon this, I could see this as something pretty, something a good token to hold going into the bull market, because manga, however you pronounce it, is really starting to grow amongst people, like kids, even older people as well too. So the story of it, the website, how everything is laid out, and this is just pure based upon what I'm seeing. As long as they don't start doing like V2s and V3s and stuff like that, I think they could do something if the team starts continue to keep working. So I'll definitely put this onto my watch list as well too, as potential tokens to slap, $100 here, and I'll just treat it as a degen type of play. Well, guys, that is all that I have for you today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. I know I said it last time, so I'm not gonna say it this time. Um, but I do hope in the future I am able to do more streams. Just to be able to hang out and chat with you guys. So before you go, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is Random Arts Guy signing off.